Good morning. Okay, I think we are up and running. And good morning to Julie. And yes, so I think everything looks good for our stream today. Today is stream number 29, which today I was writing that title and I was like, how is this the 29th live stream? That's insane that there's been so many. Hi, Rachel. But it's really exciting because we're almost to stream number 30. We're almost to 30,000 subscribers, which is just crazy. All these things I'm really excited about, but just the numbers are boggling my mind. Hi, Haley. Hi, Jean. Lindsay. Vampira. Kelly. Hi, Sean. Lisa. And Anne Marie. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, here's the name. You got to tell me if I get it right. Sigurd? You have to let me know if I got that right. Good morning. Hi, Donna. Hi, Web Pixies. Hi, Panda Fish Keeping. Hi, Karen. So today we are not working on the Fairfield. You might have noticed from the thumbnail. The Fairfield's back here. If you've never been to a live stream, you may not have known that we worked on this starting in January of last year. So it's been over a year that I have had this project. And oh my goodness. Hi everybody. Sandra, Robin, Miniature Fairy Tales. So many. Good morning. And from all over. Oh, from Australia. I know it is bedtime for you guys, so thanks for coming. Hi Paula. Hi Marilyn, Darlene, Teresa, Schmiffy. Hi Chris. Ashwini Carve. Good morning, everybody. So every now and then when I am working on a project, I get to a point where like I'm not calling it oh, hold on. Someone wants to also say hello. She's scratching at my chair. This is Stormy, by the way. I'm sure y'all know if you watched the last video who this is. It's not miniature burnout where I don't want to make miniatures. It's specifically you can't get on the desk. Specifically project burnout where I get to a point at a project and I'm just tired of it. Or typically I get to a point in the project where I don't want to do the next steps that I need to do to get past the stuff I don't want to do, if that makes sense. So they're saying good morning to you, Stormy. So I'm at the point where I need to do a lot of kind of cutting and sanding to get the doors in. I'm having to cut some of the floorboards to get the floorboards in. I need to work on the ceilings and all that stuff while I'm not going to say it's fun. None of that stuff for me is fun. Like the fun part is picking out the colors and seeing it all come together, but those little details are not fun and I'm having a hard time getting past it. Now, probably what I should do is just push through and get it done and put those things in so I can move on to the more fun stuff. But I do know also, just for myself, and y'all can let me know in the chat if this happens to you too, if I pushed myself too hard on something, then I just won't want to work on it at all. Like I completely start loathing the project. So what I'm going to do is start working on some of the furniture. And I did this with the Addams Family house. I worked on the house and then I took a break and worked on the furniture. And then I took a break and worked on the house. Because I felt like I really wanted to see. She's biting me. Not in a mean way, but just in a pay attention to me way. I want to see the furniture that I create in its proper setting, and so that inspires me to work on the inside of the house or finish up some of those projects that need to be done in the house so that the furniture looks correct in its spot. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I also thought we could pull out all the furniture that I had, and we could kind of, you guys could give me ideas for other things that I need in my project. And I'm also going to be working on, because the Fairfield is a half scale, which means it's half the size of the Addams family house. So everything has to be half as small as I usually make it for the Addams for the Fairfield. Hold on, I'm going to catch up on some comments here. Oh, yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Thank you, Shadow of Juniper Hill. Hi, Mia. Oh, thank you so much, Sheila. Have you ever seen Queen Mary's dollhouse? I have not seen it in person, but I have seen pictures of it. I have a book on it. It's beautiful. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome. Hi, Speedies Klein Welton. Let's see. I'm great at shopping for supplies, but terrible at sticking to it. That's another fun thing to do, is go get some more stuff to work with, and then it can cause some inspiration to get going. Yes, you need to want to work on it, otherwise it's no longer fun. Yeah, I'm feeling super burnt out. And it's in the ugly stage right now. I don't even want to look at it half the time. Let's see. Agreed, I'm still working on my Christmas house. Hi, Danielle. Yeah, Haley, that's why I have multiple projects on my channel, because if I have several of them, I don't get so burnt out because I can go from project to project, but it does end up being a lot of projects. I feel the same way. I go for the interior to the exterior to furniture. Sometimes I just take a break, but I have to stick to one project at a time or I'll never complete anything. Yeah, and I understand that completely too. I like having multiple projects, but I have to stop myself because I have so many ideas. But I feel like if I have like 10, don't move the microphone. If I have like 10 different projects going on at the same time, people who come to my channel are going to be like, now what is this one? So I have to kind of reel in the amount of projects that I want to do, and that way they get more things going on. Having some kind of external energy going into the project usually works for me. Feedback, ideas, collaborators. Yes, I can understand that too. Burnout is real. I go through stages. Oh, thank you, Julia. And welcome to everyone who's never been to a live stream. I know between the last live stream and this live stream, we gained quite a few subscribers. So thank you if you're coming for the first time. Is it the beginning of the year blues? I don't think so. I think it's boring part of the project blues. I think because it's specifically to this project. Like, I'm excited to work on the Addams family. I'm excited to work on the captain's quarters. I'm excited to work on my kits. It's this project that I am totally not excited about. But so I'll get back to here. You got to go on the ground for a little bit. So I have been working on kits, and so if you don't know, if you're not following me on Facebook, you may not know, I recently came out with this kit, which is a 12th scale piece of furniture. It comes with the pieces pre-cut, and then you can put the kit together. Well, lots of people like the kit, but they were asking me about half scale, and so I thought today, I cut everything at half scale. I thought today we could put this together for the Fairfield project, because I think, if you don't know, the Fairfield is going to be a Victorian house that was redecorated in the 1960s, 1970s. So it's going to have a lot of bright, crazy colors, but a lot of Victorian type stuff in it. So I thought a hall tree, that's what this is called. It's called a hall tree, and it has like pegs where you can put your coat and stuff when you come in from outside. So I thought I could make this for the Fairfield, and then it would also be a good test of whether this would work as a half scale kit as it's cut at the moment. I've never put it together in half scale. I've only done it in 1/12 scale, but I thought that we would try it out today. And honestly, when I cut these little tiny handles at half scale, because it's supposed to be like this size, I really didn't think the laser cutter was going to do this. I thought it was just going to be like a burnt up hole in the center of the paper, but it cut it. So I thought it'd be interesting to see what we can put together today. Oh no, technical difficulties. Sorry, Megan. Okay, okay, mine says that the stream is good on my side. So let me know if for some reason everybody's having issues. Let's see. I've never done miniatures before, but I was also in architecture just like you, and I think I'm rediscovering my love for little models. Your videos have been teaching me a lot. Yes, that was what got me into miniatures. Was I loved creating the models, and I just thought it was so fun because you could create anything that your mind could imagine, where in real life you have to make realistic type buildings and stuff. Hi Lilibet and Tears of Blood. I'm so glad you guys made it. Okay, so before we get started on this, I do want you guys' opinion, because I'm just going to pull out all of the furniture that I have, and that way you guys can kind of help me with some ideas for things that I'm missing. So this is going to be a Victorian house redecorated in the 1960s, 1970s. So this is another kit that I was playing around with making in half scale, and I actually put this together on a Patreon live stream. But I haven't come out with the kit yet. This was kind of a practice to see if this was the right material. So this is made out of the same material. This is like double thick cardstock. And so this was a good experiment, but this one still needs a little bit more help before it officially becomes a kit. I have a stove, and this is actually a magnet. Here, let me get this white paper off of here so that the camera will brighten up a little bit. So I have this little stove, and yeah, this is a magnet with the magnet part missing, but it already has like a little pie on top of it. Let's see. Okay, I see some of you saying that the stream is good. ABAC, hi from sunny South Africa. I used to live in South Africa a while ago. When I was, let's see, I was 5/6 when I lived in South Africa. So I was younger. So these are this one I made in the last live stream, where I was at that time also avoiding the actual house. But I didn't actually say it. And this week, when I was like, I don't want to work on the house, I was just like, okay, we're just going to talk about it. So we're just going to talk about being tired of working on a house, because it happens. I found this little fountain thing. I think it was at Michael's or Joann's. I'm not quite sure. And if you don't know who my residents are, I can pull them out. So these guys are gonna live in the house. They're a little bigger than half scale. My little skeletons. Bye, Marion. Man, South Africa is the place to be. Hi, Catherine. I've been thinking of making a doll's house from an old writing bureau. That would be really cool. I love when people put miniature scenes inside of like real life furniture. Like I have a bread box that I have been wanting to put something in, but I also have my recipes in there, so I don't know. So this is like a little sewing machine, if I can think of the word. This is a little record player, and these were all like really cheap items that I got off of this is the stool that goes with the sewing machine. Really cheap items that I got off of Amazon. So if you think of anything, I mean, I do not have a lot here. I think this rocking chair is too big, but we'll put it out there for now. I have this little bureau thing. This one might be too small. Half scale is kind of tricky. Some things can be like too big, some things can be too small. There's like a very narrow window of the correct size. I never made miniature. I want to start doing it. Any starter tips? So starter tips with making miniatures. My first tip would be to start small. So obviously it's miniatures, so but start with something manageable. So instead of starting with an entire dollhouse, you can start with making a desk. So work on making a desk and then make the accessories that go on the desk, and create that one piece to kind of get a feel for the materials that you like working in. Then once you've created the desk, think of the scene that you would want to put it in, and then maybe you can move on to a room box, which is basically just one room, and then you can start exploring the other things that would be around the desk, like a chair or like an area for books, or you can start working on like putting... I have to do the live stream. She wants attention, and I think she wants to play with all this stuff. And then start adding to your knowledge. So how to create walls with wallpaper and how to insert a door. And so just start building on that one item that you create. I started with the Addams Family house, and I've been doing it for 10 years now. And I kind of wish that I had started with something smaller, because then I would have some completed projects that I think would have boosted my confidence, and I would have moved along a lot quicker than just sitting there going, I have a completely unfinished project that I haven't finished in years. Let's see. Yay. Hi, Hazel. Let's see. Do you buy miniatures often, or would you rather make everything? So I like to buy miniatures. So I'm going to start putting these away so we can start on the haul tree. But if you guys have suggestions, go ahead. I mean, there's a lot of stuff missing here. This is all I have so far. So obviously beds, I'm going to need beds, but y'all can start putting them down, and I'll go back through the comments and make sure that I grab out ideas that I see and write them down. Hold on 1 second. So what was the question? Oh, do I buy everything? Okay, so I make the things that I like to make. And I think if you're just starting in miniatures, you're going to gravitate towards one thing. So I like to make furniture. Therefore, I want to build most of my furniture. Sometimes I buy things just because they're easier. Like really, like if it's a nice looking miniature, it's a good price, I don't have a problem with buying it. But things like food, like I am not great at making polymer clay food, and there's so many amazing miniature artists out there that just rock miniature food. I mean, it's amazing. It looks so realistic that I have no problem paying for their talent. I'll just know what I want, I save up, and then they get my business for their miniatures, and then I don't have to suffer through trying to make food when they've already made it and it's beautiful. So I'm willing to pay for the artists that have the talent that I don't, and this may sound bad, that I don't want to work on. So I would rather continue with my furniture and build up that skill, just because I love making furniture. And then I would rather pay for someone who loves making food. So I've still tried it, and I've still tested my hand in making food, and I'm still not the biggest fan of doing it. So I just rather pay for the stuff that's out there that people are good at making. Let's see. Rocking chair looks really cute. Give Stormy a skeleton, a few bones. Well, she might be going outside. What are you doing? Is Renwall half scale? I haven't heard of that brand. I haven't made anything in half scale yet. Is there anything I can make for you? I don't know if you know, but Sean, whose name is Dolphin Magic Pro, he actually made the chair for the captain's quarters and did an amazing job. Sean, if I think of anything, I'll let you know. Right now I don't quite have an items list yet, so that's what I'm working on and Hopefully you guys can give me, oh, I see lamps. See, I need ideas like that because like for my other projects that are in 12 scale, I have tons of items I can choose from. What I showed you is all I have in half scale. And so basically everything I'm either going to have to make or purchase. So that's why I need ideas, because I'm sitting here going, I don't have anything. Hi, Rob. Hi, Jane. Okay, so what I'm going to do, sorry if I'm missing some names, sorry if I'm missing some questions. If you have a question and I missed it, feel free to type it again, and I'm just going to look up every now and then trying to grab the questions that I can see. I'm going to start popping these out. So if you're, I don't want to do a lot of self-promotion in this, but if you are interested in my kits, my shop is in the description box of this video. You can go down there. I only have 2 right now. I'm working on it. So if you want to go check out the shop or just look at it later, this is a part of my business that I really want to grow, is the kits, because I think it's just a lot of fun to create a design and then be able to share it with you guys. And I know this idea kind of came around because I was sharing some of my patterns with you guys, and I know a lot of people don't have cutting machines, and you were hand cutting it, and a lot of people were saying that they would be really excited about kits, and so that's when I got the laser cutter. And so I think it's going to end up being a part of my business model for my overall plan of what I'm doing in life, is to create and sell kits and hopefully go to some dollhouse shows, because I think it's fun to put together an item, and but then it's also fun not to have to worry about like cutting it correctly, and all you have to do is just pop out the pieces. Like sometimes, like it's great to like come up with your own design, but sometimes it is fun to just let somebody else worry about the details, for sure. Okay, I'm gonna get my vacuum. Morning. Will the pattern be available to download? This one I think is going to be a shop exclusive, but I'm also already working on my next subscriber special, and that one will be free to download for y'all. Oh, okay, I got this little vacuum here because it helps clean. It's like a keyboard vacuum. It's like the tiniest little thing. It helps clean some of the laser ash after the laser cutter goes on it, and I didn't clean this one, so I'm going to do that real quick. Sorry if it's a little bit loud, but I'm noticing it coming off, and these pieces are going to start to get real dirty if I don't clean them off real quick, so hold on one second. Okay, so that should help at least a little bit. Marilyn says, which laser cutter do you have? I have it's called a K40 machine. There is a video on my channel, and it will tell you all about the machine. It has a link to all the upgrades that we've done, and so you can definitely go check that out. It has a picture of a door as the thumbnail. So if you look for a wooden door as the thumbnail, that's the laser cutter video. And then Chili Studios, hello, says, what's your favorite scale and why? My favorite scale is 12th scale, just because I feel like you can get a lot more detail into your miniatures at that scale. But I'm finding tricks and ways that you can do it in half scale too. And but I'm not sure I'd ever go below half scale because I love the amount of detail that you can put into miniatures to make them look really realistic. And I'm not sure I have the patience or the ability to do that lower than half scale. Let's see. Is this mat board? This is double thick cardstock, and that's what it's called. It's kind of expensive, so actually probably the half scale kits, even though it's smaller, is going to end up being the same price as like the full scale kits, which are this big, because this paper is expensive. I can't remember what weight it is, but it's called double thick cardstock. Let's see. Sorry if I'm missing some questions. What I could use is someone with a 3D printer to make a 3-inch Professor McGonagall wand. So I'm stuck and want to make one out of wood. Do they, I mean, I guess if they have her, I don't know if you guys know, there's like a website called Thingiverse. There's all sorts of 3D files that people have uploaded for free. So if it's on there, I bet if you found someone with a 3D printer, they probably could print it for you. Hi, Martha. Happy Valentine's Day. Hi, Marisa. A lava lamp? Oh, definitely. For sure, we need a lava lamp. I think I've seen a video on how to make a lava lamp. Maybe it was from Daniela Minis, maybe? Someone's made a lava lamp. Surely, in miniature, someone's made a lava lamp. I don't know if they've made it in half scale, but let's see. Oh, I missed something. Okay, vintage washing machine and fridge, vinyl collection, orb chair, large cork pin board, canned foods, very big in the 70s, standing ashtray. Those are all great. I'll have to look up what a standing ashtray is. Is that like where it's like really skinny and it sits next to the chair? Happy Valentine's Day. How do you scale up or down? I work in 1/6 scale and have a hard time finding things in that scale. So 1/6 scale is going to be twice as big as the 1/12. So if you had a 1/12 pattern, you would basically, if you go to like a Xerox machine or some kind of like Kinko's or some place that will make copies for you. If you have your own, you could do it on your own, but they typically have larger machines. You can just say, I need this copied at 200%, and that means that it will size up twice as big as it is. And then you need to make sure that you double the thickness of your materials. So for example, if the thickness of the material in my 1/12 scale hall tree is a 1/16 inch, and I know all my outside of the US people are going, oh no, don't talk about inches. But if my mat board is a 1/16 inch and you want to make it in 1/6 scale, you need to double the thickness, which is why some people have problems, because they forget to double the thickness of the material. So you would either have to do double mat board. Anytime there's one piece of mat board, you'd have to double that thickness. So you'd cut out two pieces, glue it together, so you had doubled the thickness. So you double the size of the pieces and you double the thickness, and that should help you size up correctly. Same thing with sizing down. You want to make your patterns go to 50%. So that's twice as small. I hope this is making sense. And then you want to make sure that the thickness of your material, so the thickness of this piece is half the thickness of a piece of mat board for this piece. So you have, I think people get messed up because they don't scale down the thickness of their pieces. They scale their pattern, but not the thickness of their materials. So make sure you scale those, and then you should be all set to go. Orange Tupperware, definitely. Will the Fairfield have electricity? I don't know. I tend to avoid electricity, and I don't know why. I think it's because I still don't feel like I quite understand it all that well. And, sorry, this is taking longer to pop these out than I thought it would. So, I don't know. And I've never fully electrified a house in 12 scale, so it's even more intimidating to think about doing it in half scale, because of course the lights are smaller and the wires are harder to hide. So, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Okay, do I have all the pieces out of this sheet of paper? So I'm going to actually keep this sheet of paper and cut this piece out and this piece out to save, because like I said, this paper is expensive. So I'll probably try and find a way, if I do make this a kit, to conserve paper. Fondue. Hi, Gladys. That's a great idea. An empty Spam container. An old mixer. A standing ashtray is like an ashtray sitting on top of an ornate table leg, more or less. Okay, that makes sense. What is the floor to ceiling height in 12th? So it's anywhere from 8 to 10 inches. World book encyclopedias that my mom bought. Yes, encyclopedias are a good one. Large plants, definitely. Ooh, something scary outside. Roller skates. That's a good one. That could be, I have one kids room, so those would be good in the kids room. You should add the millimeters of wood to this. You mean how the thickness? I need to be so much better at that. Could you add your P.O. box address for the captain's book? So my P.O. Stormy. Shh. No, ma'am. No. It's okay. I'm sure she sees a squirrel out there. The P.O. box address is in my About Me section. And so if you go on my main part of my channel, there's an About Me, and it's always in there. And so I don't know it offhand. I have the worst memory, guys. The worst memory. Macrame, definitely, for sure. Hi, Lupita. Aw, thank you so much. Bullseye stained glass, colored glass, generally. Candle wick blankets. I'm not sure what that is. Do you mean a Afghan? Because we have some of those. She sounds like a killer. She thinks she's a wolf, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so for these pieces, I'm going to come back to comments in a second. For these pieces, these actually get glued together to make a double thickness. So if you do end up purchasing a kit, if you want, I made it so that you could either have the paneled look or, so the paneled look, because typically hall trees are have panels on the back, grooves, or not. Because I think some people might like to paint on them, make something really like a decoupage or something. So I wanted to make it versatile. So I'm going to glue these together. And I think this is a big enough piece. I don't really need the toothpick. So I'm going to do the paneled look just because I like it. But I wanted to make the kit have options for people who didn't want the paneled look. So, and if you guys ever have furniture that you're looking for that you haven't found in miniature, I love new ideas of things to create into a kit or into a design. I have an entire sheet of ideas that I found on Pinterest of this piece of furniture is cool, I gotta make this. But I'm trying to make some not essentials. I guess a hall tree is definitely not an essential, but some pieces of furniture that a lot of people could use. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to take, so these two pieces are gluing together, and I still have not removed my 1, 2, 3 blocks from the box because I haven't cleaned them yet. So I'm just going to use the box to set on top of those guys. So these are the side pieces, and these get glued together as well. So I'm going to glue those guys together. Oh no, I'm sorry, my dog scared your cat. Let's see. We did beef for dinners and cheese. Love cheese fondue. They used to have a fondue restaurant. What was it called? It was all over here in America. I can't remember what it was called. Spirograph, board games. Your sister crochets. Yes, she does. Does she do mini stuff for you? She does when I beg her to. When I'm like, please. Like I made a scene for my mother, and it was I have to do a video showing that. But it was like an antique scene, and each piece in the scene had something to do with one of my family members. Well, I didn't have anything for my sister, so I'm like, can you please crochet me a doily, a very small doily, and it will represent you in the scene. And she finally did it for me. So it took a lot of begging, but I don't think she likes working in that small scale. And believe me, I have an entire group of miniaturists in my mini club that I go to, that every time I'm like, y'all need to tell her she needs to crochet in miniature. The melting pot. That's right. That's what it was. Oh, you have glue bottle envy. I know, I can't find these. Oh my goodness, I'm just going to knock the microphone 100 times. These glue bottles, I still cannot find them with this quick dry tacky glue on Amazon. And I don't understand why they are not on Amazon. There's the other one, but not this one. And I really like working with this glue. So, okay, we're going to put you under here too while you dry. And I got to glue these two together. Let's see. Is there going to be a peninsula on the kitchen counter? Orange or olive green, red brick linoleum on floors? I'm having flashbacks. I don't know if I'm doing kitchen counters, because right now all of my pieces are separate. All the kitchen pieces are separate. They're not like built in, which I think was really, especially in the Victorian time, they didn't have like built-in cabinets and stuff. So I think I might just put like a kitchen table in the middle, like a work table for them to work on. But yeah, we may have to bring in, we'll definitely have to bring in like the bright green, definitely some of those highlights in that area. Let's see. Habitat is a UK brand, very trendy in the 70s. What were they? What did they create? I can't think of the 70s without thinking of Papazan chairs. I used to have a Papazan chair a long time ago. Those things are big. Melting pot. We went there after my mom's service. Aww. Bean bags, big wheels, pogo sticks. Man, so many things. Yeah, I'm going to have to come back and write down all the things that you guys are suggesting, because these are great suggestions, and I just need to make a big long list and start making them in the live streams. Okay, so awesome. I'm just going to let those sit for a second. Too bad there's no miniature clubs near me. The only craft show in my area is the 4-H fair that's open to the public, and it's so fun to see all the crafts people in our country make, or in our county make. On another channel, there is a glue bottle that has a needle-like point. I want one so badly. Anyone know where to find those? If you guys know where a needle nose point glue bottle is, let Catherine know, because those would be really nice. Like if there was an attachment to stick on this, that would just be perfect. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Let's see. Yes, I do have the green shag carpet all ready to go. I knew that was something that I wanted. A wall clock, wicker everything, pop art, shaggy carpet, cacti, telephone. Oh, the cacti will be really fun. Last year when I went to the Dallas miniature show, actually I'm going to sand this real quick. There was a lady who had half-scale cacti, and they were really cute. Okay, so one of the reasons I'm sanding this is because I use tabs to put the pieces into the cardstock, and so while the tabs aren't sticking out that much, I just like to sand it down so I can get the best glue adhesion possible. And honestly, doing it this way where like it's inside of a sheet is going to be easier for me on producing the kits, easier on shipping because they're flat and they're kind of contained in like a sheet, and so I don't have to worry about the pieces getting like moved around in shipping. So I have been happy to kind of stumble upon that, although I'm sure people have been doing it for years. I'm just taking my time on figuring things out, I guess. What thickness is the material you're using here? This material is a 32 inch thick. So really tiny. In millimeters? Let's see. So about 1 millimeter. A little less than a millimeter thick. So when it's glued together, it's about 1.5 millimeters. All right, so now I'm going to glue these pieces together, and you can see this is going to start, our hull tree is going to start coming together here. So let me glue this guy. I'm going to put glue on this edge. Hello, ma'am. Are you done barking at everything? You really can't come up here now because I'm making something. She doesn't understand. You can get those needle points for glue bottles from AliExpress. Oh, cool. I'm sure it's pretty cheap to get a few of them then, if it's AliExpress. Hello, all. Oh, good. Y'all know where to... YouTube won't let me put a link, but I can post it somewhere else. Yeah, y'all, if y'all have links to things, you can always post them on my Facebook page. In general, YouTube won't let you post outside links. It's just to keep people from coming in and spamming the live stream with their own links. But yeah, you can definitely go put them on my Facebook page, on the community page. I need to figure out how to make like just a combination of like helpful links on my page and just have like a growing list of things that people have suggested. Habitat did foam chairs in the 70s, carved out of big blocks of foam and covered in cloth. I have never seen those. I'll have to look that up. My kid's school has like big foam furniture, and it's really cool because it all like fits together and they can move it around, and it's kind of a cool thing. Apparently they were already doing that in the 70s. Hi, Shelby. Welcome to the live stream. I'm so glad you guys are able to make it. This is, I think, is this the second or third time I've had the live stream on Fridays? So they used to be on Tuesdays. I'm getting glue everywhere. Of course. I'm trying to decide if it's time to get a new craft mat or not. Could you use cereal box instead of paper? Possibly. Probably. Yeah, I think it's probably about the same thickness. Rhonda, I am making a half-scale version of my 12th scale hall tree for the Fairfield because it's back there and I'm avoiding working on the house itself. So I'm making things to go inside the house. A picture in the living room of the Green Lady, popular in Woolworths in the 70s and 60s. Ooh, she sounds mysterious. Green Lady. Okay, so now I'm going to take the piece marked E, and it makes the bottom of the hall tree, and it should line up with all these little lines that are in here. And this is where I need my bottle cap plus glue plus toothpick, because it's about to get really detail oriented up in here. So, and if this all works, then hopefully I'll have a half scale version of this pretty soon. So that would be great, because there's not really a ton of resources for half scale furniture. So if I can be that resource, I think that would be really exciting. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. I use old vape juice bottles and put glue in them. They already come with needle type tips. Interesting. Are there any downsides to a glass cutting mat? I don't know. I've never tried one. If anyone's ever had a glass cutting mat, y'all let me know. I'm sure for filming it may not be the best. I just put glue in my bottle cap and now I'm using my glue bottle and there's glue everywhere. My brain has a hard time talking and doing things at the same time. If anyone's tried a glass cutting mat, let us know. But it would be reflective for the lights that I use, so it probably wouldn't be good for my purposes of making videos. But I don't know, it might be better than the plastic ones if they keep wearing out. All right, so I'm going to stick this piece in here. And there's lines already engraved on these pieces, so I can line it up and know that it is straight. All right, so we've got our base. Oh, it doesn't look straight on the bottom here. No, it's good. For some reason, putting vertical lines on this piece makes it kind of like an optical illusion sometimes. Because there were several times where I had to, like, while I was building the larger one, I had to pull back and I was like, that doesn't look straight, but it is mathematically. Just didn't work with my eye. See, it still looks weird. All right, well, I'm just going to put a little extra glue on the bottom to make sure that stays in place. Glass will dull knives a lot quicker. Oh, that's interesting to know. I had a rice lamp in the 70s. What's a rice lamp? That sounds fascinating. I have a Tim Holtz glass mat that I love for everything but cutting. Okay, so now we have that part done. I'm going to let this guy dry for a little bit. See? Okay, it looks straight to my eye, but then on camera it doesn't look straight. This is the optical illusion I'm telling you about. See, this looks like it's going down, but it could be something with the shadows. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to put these two pieces together, and this is going to be the front of the hall tree. So it's a pretty easy kit to put together. I love what you're making. I've missed a bit of your stream. Are you making kits to sell? Yes, this kit is all ready to go to sell. This is my 12 scale hall tree, and this guy's up in my store already. Today, I'm putting together a half scale version to see if everything works. And this will go into my Fairfield kit, or my Fairfield project, which is half scale. But I thought today, since I was not wanting to work on the Fairfield, I'd just put this together with you guys and we could just find out for ourselves if it all works. Because it kind of, like, I like math. Well, no. I understand math, but it still baffles me constantly that I can just take it from 12th scale 50% down to 24th scale and it all still works. Like, it just blows my mind. But that's what we're testing. We're testing because I'm not going to send out a kit. Like, I made this guy like 3 times to make sure everything was perfect. Well, okay, that doesn't sound like a lot, but I did the drawings, I redrew it, I built it, fixed it, went back to the drawings, built it again, fixed it, then built it a final time once it was all perfected. So there's a lot of going back and forth. So even though this typically works most of the time, I would never put out a half-scale kit without extensively testing it and making sure that it works really, really well. Is this really live right now? Yes, you made it. I need to go to your store and get the 12th scale kit. I love it. Thank you. My parents had a carpeted wall, so they also had paintings and 3D foam art of conquistadors. Wow. Man, that's why I thought a 70s project would be so fun. And I think once I get into making the furniture and all the stuff to go in it, I'll get more excited to work on the house. I just got burnt out on the house. And I will say, I don't know if you guys were here, some of you were definitely here for when I started this project and I was reading through the directions for how to put the Fairfield together. Okay, I'll give you a tiny bit of attention. So I was putting the Fairfield together, reading through the instructions and getting so frustrated by just the crazy wording in the instructions. And then I had to write my own instructions for this kit, and I'm still editing, making sure that they're perfect, but my goodness, I have to apologize to the writers of the Fairfield kit instructions because it is no joke trying to explain how to put together a 3D item with just words. So I'm sorry, Fairfield instruction writers, that is a task in itself. I became a mother when I realized there wasn't any math involved. Oh my goodness. My parents had a carpeted wall. They also had paintings. Oh, I already read that one. That's right. 3D foam art of conquistadors. I really want to see that. If you have pictures, I want to see that. Hi, Anna Mama. Don't forget the bell-bottom jeans on any dolls you make for it. Well, my dolls are actually skeletons, so is that enough attention? It's not enough attention? You can't get up here. Ever. You're not supposed to be up there ever. I know. Okay. I know. Yeah, she's just so cute. It's hard to say no. Okay, so we were gluing this guy. So he should be dry, and he goes here on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue. And I know that this line should line up with the piece that has an E on it. Oops. Another thing that's making her crazy is that I've put a gate up so she's kind of stuck in here with me. A lot of times during the day I'll let her out in the living room by herself. She usually gets herself in trouble. But during the live stream, I don't have time to get up and just constantly go check and make sure she's not in trouble. So she's kind of stuck in here with me, and she's not liking it. She wants to go in the living room and explore. The kids like to leave nice little toys for her to go mess up in there. And then they get mad at her, and I'm like, I'm sorry? You are the one who left the toy out? Not her. She's the one who happened to find it. Okay, so this piece just goes on here like this. Like so. You still have the conquistadors. Your husband hates them. A velvet painting of Elvis. That's awesome. let's see. I don't want to do major cutting on my glass mat. I just want the occasional little cutting surface when I'm working. I wonder if the Conquistador's art was made popular by the rock song. I don't know. Elena wants you to put pictures on Facebook so everyone can see, Danielle. Let's see. No, I don't have a 12 scale pattern for this guy. It's going to be a kit exclusive for a while, so I'm not putting the pattern out there, but my next subscriber special, I am putting the pattern out for that one. So all my subscriber specials, I'll definitely be giving you guys, excuse me, I'll definitely be giving out the patterns for those. But there'll be a few here and there that are with my, that are just sold in my store. So, let's see. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the eyes, the pieces that have an eye on them. And these guys are going to get glued together. Right now she's mad at me, so she is making lots of noise with the dog door. She's just standing there pushing it over and over again. You can go outside. It's okay. She is not having it today. She is a little bit more, she voices her opinion a little more than Audrey did. Of course, Audrey had gotten old, so we got used to having an old dog, and she's 8 months, so it's a whole new thing getting used to a little puppy. Let's see. Hello, I'm new here. Welcome. I'm wondering if you have a showroom of your work. There's a few things on my website. Do you mean like a physical showroom? For a physical showroom, I have things that are around my studio, and so if people come to my home, then they can see them. But as far as online showroom, I have a few things on my website, which is bentleyhouseminis.com. But I really need to update it. There's a lot of old stuff on there, and I haven't put a lot of my newer stuff. So I'm going to glue this piece right here underneath this engraved line back here. And that's where my seat is going to sit on this guy. So I need to put a ledge. So there's some projects there that you can look through, but the best place to see my projects is on my channel, because you can see how I made everything. Will the skeleton have some bubbles? Champagne going? You'll have to let me know. Will the skeleton have some bubbles? Champagne going through one while going through... Oh, like if they're drinking some champagne? That would be funny. Let's see. Maybe 70s clothes draped over the bedroom furniture. They'll never wear now. Do you have any idea how many times I watch the stove video while putting it together? I hear your voice in my sleep. I'm so sorry for that, Karen. Oh my goodness. I guess I'm getting a kit for Valentine's. Aw. Did y'all see my picture of what my husband got me? He got me a pyramid of Addams family members. It's on my Facebook and my Instagram. I came home, I guess it was Wednesday night, and they were all in a line in my office, or not in a line, in a pyramid shape, just like he had put them. And they're so cute. He can't ever wait for the actual like holiday that he's supposed to give me anything. Oh my goodness. Okay. Come on. There we go. It is a little bit more fiddly for sure in half scale. In 12 scale, it is much easier to just get everything lined up. Why does that look weird? Okay, I may have to experiment with this a little bit because this line on this piece doesn't look quite right. So that may have to be a redesign in my computer files. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it's flat. But we're going to keep going with it because that's how I know whether my computer files are right, whether or not the piece goes together. So we'll just keep going with it. So I put I right there and I pushed it a little lower than the line. It should be lined up exactly on the line, but it looks wrong. So I'll have to check that in my design file, make sure that my lines didn't move. Hi D. Britton. Conquistador was released in 1972. I thought it was early 70s or even late 60s. Yes, he does know what I like. He knows that, I mean, flowers are lovely and nice, but they don't last very long. But the atoms last forever. Okay, so this is a little piece where you put the pegs in. So for these, I use toothpicks in here, but toothpicks are going to be too big in half scale. So I'm going to have to find another item that will be the right scale for half scale. So maybe like some paper clips, like metal paper clips, you can cut the little pegs off and glue them in. So that's another thing I'm going to have to troubleshoot with the half scale versus the full scale. So I want to use items that are easy to work with and easy to find. So I'm going to put this piece on there. I remember that you were on Jazz's video once. It was cool. Yes, I was. I was very honored to be featured on his channel. So thanks for coming over and checking out my channel. I appreciate it. Wednesday is your favorite character. Maybe that's the reason he did it on a Wednesday. That's very true. He is thoughtful like that. For some reason, like he always remembers my half birthday. And that just blows my mind that he remembers my half birthday, like all the time. And so it's little things like that he definitely gets the details right. All right. Oops, not too far up. Okay, so make sure that guy gets glued down. Let's see if this fits. Ooh, it just fits. So I'm going to put this like that for it to dry. All right, so the next things I need to put together are the... Am I missing a piece? Oh no, they're right there. See, my husband got me a bunch of miniature potted plants. I love that. Oh, that's so sweet. Like miniature, like dollhouse potted plants, or like they're smaller real plants. My boyfriend and I have been together 11 years today. Oh, you guys got together on Valentine's Day. That's so cute. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to glue these pieces that are marked K. Usually when I have items that have the same letter, they get glued together. And it just helps make like an extra supportive piece. It's in a spot where I think needs a little bit extra thickness or a little bit more strength. Yeah, she's really mad she can't go in the living room right now. It's like having a child who's throwing a tantrum in the corner. Oh, dollhouse size. Awesome. All right, so I'm gluing the letters inside of the piece because I don't want to see them once I start painting, because they are technically engraved. Because I'm using a laser cutting machine, it engraves them. Now, it's not a very deep engraving, so you can't see it very well, but if you are painting the piece, once you put the paint on there, you can see the letters. So I've had to be kind of inventive on how to hide the letters once the piece goes together, so that people aren't frustrated that there's like little indentions of letters all over their furniture. So now I'm going to glue the piece that has an L onto the bottom of the pieces that have a K. Glue that. It is fun. I kind of feel like it's like making a 3D puzzle, except there's no like interlocking pieces. It's just like shapes that you have to put together and end up with a piece of furniture. Yes, I am a Texan. I was actually born here, even though I've lived all over the world. I was actually born in Texas and then ended back up here somehow. My guy gets me stuff for crafting unless I ask otherwise. He knows my hobby tools better than me almost. Yeah, I've had lots of tools. Oh, happy birthday to Anna Mama. That's so awesome. Yes, I've gotten lots of tools, and then like I have family members who are like, he got you a tool for your birthday? And I'm like, yes, and I'm very excited about it. It's a tool I need to do whatever it is I need to do. So yeah, I get just as excited about tools and crafting supplies as, well, even more excited about those things than like clothes. If you've been here very long, you know I'm not like super stylish, so I'd rather spend that stuff on crafting supplies. Okay, so I'm gonna get this guy glued together, and then it's actually almost together, which is exciting because I know we'll have time to test out the hardware because it's so tiny. I'm just honestly shocked that the laser cutter even cut it. But it'll be exciting if I can do this half-scale piece and the lid's still open. It is satisfying whenever the pieces fit together. It's very unsatisfying when they don't, which is what happens the first couple times I try and put it all together. But once I get it all together, it's exciting. Let's see. I was born in New Jersey, but said my first words here. So you got to Texas pretty quickly. Oh, Rhonda, you got your Clover iron. Yay, I'm so glad you like it. Just be careful. That thing gets hot. Really hot. Only a true crafter would say they want craft supplies over anything else as a present. Seriously, I got a gluing jig. I got clamps. I got some tweezers. I got these 1, 2, 3 blocks that I still have in the packaging. And I was just over the moon excited. Oh, you got a Dremel set. Nice. Good morning, Angela. Is it morning or is it night? I guess it's probably the next day where you are. Megan, I had asked for a trip to the Dollar Tree. There's a lot of good stuff at the Dollar Tree. That is true. Okay, so now that this piece is dry, so it's kind of hard to tell because of the tabs. They kind of interrupt the nice, beautiful edges we have here, but it's stair-stepped, so there's a reveal around 3 sides, and so this is our top piece that goes on top of the hall tree. But before I put it on there, I'm going to sand it just a bit to make sure that those tabs don't get in our way. It looks like they should be fine. All right, so I'm going to stand my little hall tree up, and I'm going to put glue on these edges up here, and I already sanded these pieces. I need some more glue. It's 3 a.m. Oh my goodness, Angela. Thank you for being awake for the live stream. Unless you're just already awake and you happen to stop by. But thank you for being here all the same. Oh no, you can't post on my Facebook? If you go to community, so there's like on the side, there's like different options. Like there's the one, what happened? Y'all still seeing me? Something happened. It said, are you sure you want to end your live stream? No, I don't. So I said no. I'm not sure. Maybe I hit something with my mouse. If you go onto my Facebook page, on the side, there's one that says community. You have to go to the community tab, and then you can post pictures and all sorts of stuff there. All right, so now I'm going to put glue up here all along the top part. And then I'm going to lay it back down and try and center this top piece like so. She's calmed down now. She ended up falling in love with the tree skirt from our Christmas tree. So now it's like in the middle of my office, and that's where she chills out in the middle of the day. She lays on the tree skirt. The tree's been put away for quite a while, but the tree skirt is now hers, I guess. It's pretty old, so it's okay. We can replace it. Are there any openings? Or are there any openings on the hall tree? You might have to explain what you're asking. There's this part right here. So you can see on the bigger one, this opens. So there's like little things in there that I used to display in my pictures. So I just stuck them in there because eventually I want to go to craft shows or miniature shows. So anything I used, like for example, like this is, if you've seen my draping tutorial, this is just a draped piece of fabric. So I can just hang it on there. And so I can like set up a little display of what the kit could look like once you get everything together. But this piece right here does open. So if that's what you mean, this one does work. And it just has paper hinges. So I wouldn't like, if this is going to be used heavily like by a child, you can just glue this piece down and it be forever glued. It can still look like it opens. But this is probably not for heavy use just because they're made from paper. So, all right. Let's see, I need to make some kind of protective cover for my clover. I've used it twice and burned myself twice. I was trying to be really careful the second time. I don't understand that open slot. No, I don't understand that either. Why isn't it more protected? Someone told me to buy, like there's hair, you know those, okay, so you know hair curlers, and there's like this clamp thing that goes over it to keep the hair on the hair curler. Someone told me to buy those. Like they were specifically listed with the clover iron. Like, you know, when you go on Amazon, it says people who bought this also bought this. And then people were suggesting that. And I tried it one time and the iron just melted the little clamp thing. So I don't know either. It's just a long, process of trying to learn how to use it and not burn yourself. So that's why I say every time I have the clover iron, I'm like, it's a great tool, but be careful. It's hot. Super hot. I fell asleep in that chair and woke up again and noticed you were on, so I got lucky today. Well, thank you for hanging out. Thank you. If you still can't figure out how to post on my Facebook, then send me a message and I'll try and figure out what's going on. Okay. All right, so this is basically just a trim piece that goes on the lid. So it like opens like this and then goes back down like this. And it's the place where you can glue the handles. I'm blown away by how fast it dries glue on fabric. Yes, really, really, really fast. You can't go out there. She's been in a pillow chewing mode as well. So that's another reason I'm not letting her in the living room by herself. All right, so already this is interesting because I'm having a hard time getting this piece in here. Like it's a little bit too snug, whereas this piece moves freely. So this one might have to be like custom custom adjusted for the half scale version. Let's see if I can get it in there at all. So I may have to sand down the sides. So this is why I like to make sure I test everything several times, because I don't want a kit to get to you guys and then you guys be frustrated. I'd rather me go through all the frustration and then you guys just have fun putting it together. All right. My clover iron came with a metal box to keep everything together. I have 10 different iron heads for my clover iron, which also has a special stand for it to sit in. Well, it sounds like you have a nice set. Mine came not like that. So all the pieces are like in a little baggie so that I don't lose them. All right, still need to sand some more. So I'm sorry if this is a gross sound. Sorry. But hopefully, yeah, we still got plenty of time, so hopefully we can try out the hardware. I don't know if I'll paint it. Do you guys want me to paint it today? Would you rather see me try and mess with the hardware, or would you rather see me paint it? Well, I still have to put on the little details. So let me know what you guys prefer. Because the hardware is not hard, you just glue it on. All right. So now it fits. And it should, yeah. All right, so I just have to make it a little bit less wide here so that it fits perfectly in the tree. Hall tree. So, there we go. That's his little baby brother. Both. Hardware, paint, hardware. We'll see if we can do both because I'm already pretty close. We'll see if we can do both. We'll try our best. And this guy can't take that long to paint. He's pretty tiny. All right, so I do have a detail sheet. This is just regular cardstock. So this is even half the thickness of this cardstock. And honestly, this guy's pretty sturdy. So I guess doubling up the thicknesses on the side and the back made him a pretty sturdy little piece. So, and as long as he's going in like a project that's not going to be handled a lot, he should last for a long time. So I'm just going to cut these little pieces out, and these go on the side. Now, the one thing I will say when adding these cardstock details, this one didn't cut all the way through. For some reason, my laser decided to not cut the corners very well. Whenever you glue these on and then you paint, sometimes this paper will buckle, but I've found that if you are patient and just wait for a couple hours, the buckling will go away. Kind of like when you use Mod Podge, you just gotta wait for the bubbles to leave. Because when I first did it and I saw bubbling, I'm like, oh no, this isn't gonna work. But then it went away. So, which I was very grateful for. Because I've done this on so many pieces of furniture where I've used cardstock as an embellishment. So it just kind of makes a nice little extra detail on the side, because the side's kind of just a big plain area. And so it just kind of makes it look like there was some detail work around the side. I used a laser cutter to make this kit. So this is a kit that I have made for sale. And well, actually the 12 scale is for sale. This is the 12 scale. And this, I'm now working on putting this kit together to try and get out the half scale for those of you guys who are interested in the half scale. So that's what we're working on today, because I am avoiding the Fairfield. And I think I'll just continue. I'm just going to wait until inspiration comes, because that happens every now and then where like I've put off a project, I just really didn't want to work on it anymore, and then all of a sudden I look at it and I feel like, oh my goodness, I really want to finish this. I want to get going. Let's put some furniture in it. Let's make a room. Let's Like I want to take photos, and usually it's because I want to take photos of the furniture in something that I get excited to work on the house itself. Man, I'm just getting glue everywhere. All right, so put this guy here. I don't have much time to move it around. Oops, I've got dirty fingerprints. Let's see. Cheryl says, working my real job this morning. I watched the tutorial last night for the hall tree I've ordered. I'm so excited to do this project. Thank you for ordering. And I hope you really enjoy it. So I'm cutting, because they're pre-orders. So if you order a hall tree kit, they're pre-orders, which means I cut them as the order comes in, because I feel like that will save materials and it'll save me time, because I won't be cutting kits that nobody's ordering. I don't want to spend a ton of time doing that and then they just sit there. So it's a pre-order. So right now, all the ones that have been ordered already, I'm cutting. And so I was laser cutting all last night while I was watching some YouTube videos. And I'll be continuing to cut today, and hopefully I'll be getting the first round of hall tree kits to the post office on Monday. So if you've already ordered one, if by the time this live stream is started, most likely, if all goes to plan, your order should go out on Monday. And I learned how to use an online postal program, thanks to Stephanie. You know who you are, and she has pointed me in the direction of a really awesome program, so I can do all my postage from home. So I can be one of those people who just walks into the post office, puts the packages on the counter, and walks out. So I'm really excited about that, because I always was like, how are they doing that? They already know what they're doing. I get really anxious in the post office. So let's see. If you get the kit, is it pre-cut or do you need your own laser cutter? It's pre-cut. Let me show you. So you get pieces like this. So it's pre-cut, and all you have to do is you just take your X-Acto knife and you just cut through the tabs, and then you have your pieces ready to go. So Monday is a holiday. Okay, so kits will go out Tuesday. Is it really? Are my kids going to be in school? I'll have to look that up. I am working on a little half-scale hall tree guy. And right now I'm just putting the side details on and trying to avoid gluey fingerprints. And then this little piece here goes like so on the front. And of course, all of these are optional. My phone is going off. Yes, ma'am. Can I help you? Stormy's come to stare at me. President's Day. President's Day. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Sometimes these holidays just sneak up on me. And I have a calendar, and I try to go through and mark holidays like that, but I guess I missed that one because I know I looked at what was going on next week. I missed one. Oh my goodness, I dropped a big thing of glue on my hall tree. All right, so I'm just going to stick this piece down. Yeah, you're okay. Go lay down on your tree skirt. You're okay. Well, I'm glad I had this live stream so you guys can let me know that I'm not going to take my kids to school on Monday. Okay, so then the first set of kits should be going out on Tuesday then. So, because I don't trust dropping my stuff off on the weekends, because I know they have that little like at the US post office, they have those things that you can like pull down like so. But somebody always puts something too big in there, and then the little thing gets stuck and nobody else can put their packages in there for the rest of the weekend because no one comes in the weekend. So, yeah. So I don't even try on the weekends if it's a package. Like if it's a letter, usually you can put your letter through the slot, but somebody comes in with a package and yeah. See. The maker. Oh, you guys are talking about the maker. Yeah, the Cricut maker will cut mat board and basswood up to a 16th inch thick. I do not have one, but I hear they're pretty amazing. But yes, they are a little bit pricey, like Rhonda said. My daughter picked her moment to ring me for a chat. I miss loads. A bit cheeky to ask to start again. It will go up on YouTube when I'm done. You can kind of catch up on the middle parts. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Sean's helping somebody. Thank you, Sean, for helping and giving advice. Okay. Oh, yeah. And Marilyn mentioned Thicket Works Studio. If you haven't heard of Thicket Works, or if you haven't heard of Heather Tracy, she does a lot of work with the Maker Machine. So definitely go check out her channel, which is I think it's Heather Tracy now. It used to be called Thicket Works, but I think it's now just Heather Tracy. And go check out her page. And she does a lot of cutting with the Cricut Maker and makes all sorts of amazing things. Okay, so I think we've got everything built except for the hardware. Okay, so colors. So we're thinking 70s, 60s. Should we go with like an obnoxious green? Or should we maybe we should just go with like a white, like a cream color, and then like some big flowers painted on it? Flowers or mushrooms? What do y'all think? Yay, what's a half birthday? Half birthday is 6 months from your actual birthday. My birthday happens on a holiday, so every now and then I would celebrate on my half birthday. My mom has a Cricut, but she doesn't know how to use it, so never does. Oh, she should loan it to you, and then you could show her how to use it. Say, I could use it, and then I could show you how to use it. A golden color. An awful yellow mushroom. Maybe we could do it like a creamish yellow with mushrooms. Okay, I see lots of yellowy, so let's do a creamy yellow with mushrooms. Okay. Let's see. I've got some cream. Let me go get yellow. Harvest Gold. Okay. My mom had so many, or still has, I think, so many dishes that had like little mushrooms on them. She might have gotten rid of them or donated them. I'm not quite sure, but I remember mushrooms, definitely. They'll be so tiny on this little, that'll be a challenge. I don't know if we'll get to painting the mushrooms during this live stream, especially if we want to get to the hardware. But we can at least do the base coat. This yellow is all clogged up. I use these paints for both my use and for like, I teach art lessons, and so sometimes they get a little crusty depending on who the last person was who used them. Yay, awful yellow. We're not going to go full yellow, just a creamy yellow. And hopefully it won't be too in your face. All right. I can always add a little bit more yellow. That may just be a chunk of yellow. Are you a chunk or are you actual paint? This yellow isn't doing so hot. It's turning like a... Hold on. That might have just been a chunk. Browns were big. Yeah, I grabbed this country tan. I figure would be good for the mushrooms. Oh wait, this is cream. I need more yellow. My favorite color is purple. That's my daughter's favorite. No, she doesn't like purple anymore. It changes weekly. She still has a lot of purple. And it's my sister's favorite color. A lot of people love purple. It's a good color. It's a royal color. Alright, so we got like a creamy yellow. Let me wipe this off. Alright, this is probably not the right brush for this. But all my brushes are not here. So we'll use this brush. Randomly, all my brushes are in the garage. So we'll just use this one and hope it works okay. So it's kind of looking a little neon on the camera, but it's more of like a baby yellow, I guess. So I'm just going to basically paint the entire thing. I can tell it's almost lunchtime. I'm starting to get hungry. I thought about getting a snack for this live stream, but I didn't. Because then I get paint all over my hands, so... Let's see. What about giant dark walnut wood spoon and fork? Oh yes, like Everybody Loves Raymond. The giant fork and spoon. One big mirror. Oh my goodness, that would be interesting to do. It would be really hard to take photos of the project if there was a big mirror in the living room, because you'd see this like giant face in camera looking back at you. No, ma'am. No. Now she's chewing on stuff because she's still mad at me. You have 30 minutes and then I will pay all attention to you. 30 minutes, please. And then in 30 minutes, when I can pay attention to her, that's when she's going to take a nap, probably. That described my grandma's dining room completely. Hi, Kim. Don't forget the yellowish gold and avocado appliances in the kitchen. When I was in 2nd grade, we had them, and a rust-colored shag rug. I remember we always wanted to rake the rug. I remember playing with the shag carpet at my grandparents' house. They had the green shag carpet, and I remember hiding things in the carpet. Like, it was really, really shaggy. I remember, yeah, playing on the shag carpet. Don't worry, it'll go back up on my channel and you can rewatch. We're painting a creamy, what do we call it? Something yellow? Annoying yellow or something? To go into our 60s, 70s house. So it'll have like little mushrooms painted on it, maybe some flowers. Didn't they paint butterflies on them too? Butterflies. Those little those little people with the bonnets where you could only see the bonnet and you couldn't see their face. We had those hanging in our room. I think my grandmother or my grandmother's friend made them for us. Yes, you can rewatch it. Those crazy lamps that look like metal blinds. Oh, a waterbed. My goodness. That would be interesting to make an actual waterbed in miniature. Probably a little dangerous to put that in your project, especially if you forgot about it. All right, so almost done with the outside. So I knew it wouldn't take too long to paint this guy. And then while he's drying, we can mess with the hardware. The only time I've ever tried to make half-scale hardware was for my swap with Crack and Make Ruckus, because I made a half-scale china cabinet. And I tried to make like these really delicate, beautiful handles from sewing pins and resin. And it pretty much worked. So I may have to try that again. My grandparents have now passed away, but my cousin now lives in their house and they still have shag carpet upstairs room. They were blue and the other orange. It's such a memory. Like, did people outside of the US? Y'all have to let me know. Okay, yeah, so Gail says in Finland, the housewives used to comb through the fringe every week. So I guess it was a worldwide thing to have shag carpet. All right, so now the awkward part of where to put my hands. Guess I'll paint this guy for a few minutes. And then while the yellow's drying, we'll pop the hinge stuff, the hardware, out of the paper. And then I guess I need to get some gray and silver to paint the hinges. And I'll probably age this guy just a little bit too, because I don't exactly know the story I want for the Fairfield, but something about like, I think because it's Victorian, that's been redecorated in the 60s and 70s, maybe the inhabitants lived there during the Victorian times and they just kept living there, and now they're skeletons and they just keep updating it. And so I guess maybe currently it's the 60s and 70s in the timeline of the Fairfield. And so they just keep updating with the trends. I don't know. So you'll have to let me know if you have any ideas for the backstory of the Fairfield inhabitants. All right, just get this inside painted here. You would need to use gel instead of water for the miniature waterbed. I saw someone do a gel greeting card. That's interesting. That would work better than water for sure. Making braids. I think I tried to braid the carpet too. I think I remember that. You could only like do like two braids. The hinges would be the same color as the article. Not a good decade. Oh, but it's fun. It's fun. I liked watching, I don't know if this was kind of a show that was on when, I guess it was my teens? No, early 20s. That 70s show. I really liked watching it for all the sets and stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that show, but the mom, Kitty, her lights in her kitchen were cheese graters. So there were light bulbs like screwed up inside the cheese graters. And so I really just enjoyed like the set of that show. It was really fun. And they actually had, I have this ceiling lamp, or this floor ceiling lamp. It is big enough to go from the floor to the ceiling, and it has these ceramic light covers, and they actually had it on their set, and I was like, it's my lamp, it's my lamp. But yeah, it probably was my grandmother's that she probably acquired in the 60s and 70s, and when she passed away, it became mine. And so everywhere I go, I still take that lamp with me. And I think it was like a lamp kit, and it came with the ceramic bulbs or the ceramic lampshades, and then you painted them and fired them, and then it made your lamp. And so I think she actually made that part or something like that. Sorry, I'm falling behind on some comments. It's a lot more fun talking about the 70s than living as a young adult. I kind of feel that way about the 90s too, because 90s culture is like coming back. Like everyone's like, oh, the 90s, and it's a big thing right now. And yeah, not that it was bad. It's just like when we were in the 90s, really didn't think it was as cool or as interesting as it does now. But I guess that's probably for every decade. I don't know. Here, when were your grandparents born? I don't know the exact years. Let me think about when my parents were born. So probably the 1930s. 1930s? Mom and Dad, if you're watching, you gotta let me know. Am I right? You're okay. Not much longer. It's okay. You're fine. I gave her food and water before we started the stream. I thought all her needs were met. Apparently not. All right, so I'm going to finish with this guy. Let him dry. Paint the other side of this, and then we'll work on the hardware. So I'm really liking this bright yellow. It'll be interesting to get inside the house, because the house is actually pretty dark. There's a lot of dark walls. Oh, I was about to stick this brush in my glass of tea. Okay, there's the water thing. Okay, so let me pull out this piece. We'll move this guy over here. We'll move this. Okay, so this is the little cardstock sheet again that I had cut stuff out of. And so these two pieces here are the handles, and then these pieces here are the hinges. And there's just one little tab holding these on. Oh. And look how tiny. Oh my goodness. It looks even more tiny when it's out of the cardstock. So I need to make sure not to sneeze or breathe too hard. I do need some tea. And dogs' needs are never met. That is very true. You're okay. You're okay. You're just fine. And she's been increasingly becoming like a lap dog, so she wants to hang out with me. I know. There's blades and stuff. You can't come up. I don't think I've ever seen the styrofoam egg carton lamps. You always seem to have the perfect amount of paint. That's not always the truth, but sometimes, like if I have a little extra, like I like it that the like the acrylic paint, like it's a skin on top of it, and then if I find out I missed a spot, I can go back and like puncture that, and there's still like new paint underneath. And it's in the same color that I mixed. Okay. So we're going to, oh, see, I'm really nervous about painting these. They're so tiny. Maybe I should just leave them white. White would be accurate to go onto something yellow, don't you think? I have some white. I'm not sure how I'm going to paint them without them sticking to something because they're just so incredibly small. So let's see. Okay. Have these little detail tweezers that were suggested by Heather, so I had to get them. And I guess a really tiny brush. Let me see if I can zoom you guys in. There we go. So if you can compare it to my blade, I mean, these guys are tiny. Use a pin to hold them while you paint them. White, or maybe use a gel pen. Well, we'll try some paint because I know the paint actually like seals the paper a little bit. So I don't even know if I can pick it up. All right, so we'll paint half at a time. And when I did the bigger kit, I doubled the size of these, but I think I just want to use one thickness of it so that it looks in scale. Everything's just going to be like really small and thin and delicate. So, okay. Now we'll dry this side and then we'll flip it around. Oh my. Black wrought iron was common back then. Yeah, black would be good too. I remember seeing lots of whites and yellows together. Just in my neck of the woods at that time. Use tweezers and dip them into the paint. Well, that could work too. Might be a little too thick. But it shouldn't take long for it to dry because there's just not a ton of paint on there. It's like drying nails. What are y'all looking for at the Dollar Tree? I missed something. Alright, so now I'm going to paint the other side. So I just dropped it, so I don't know which side is the other side. Oh, the paint is not dry, apparently. Okay, we'll let you dry. Maybe I'll do that mushroom brown on the other handle, and then we can decide which one we like. What is that? Come on. Maybe we're out of this. I guess we're out of this color. Oh no, here comes. We have a little bit left. Enough to paint mushrooms, maybe. Alright. So we'll paint this other one, this brown color, which may be a mistake. I still can't get this. Okay. Man, I wish we could play music. Empty plastic mini containers to store leftover mixed paint in. Oh yeah. I have the lids of those are sitting around. Like these guys. Oops. Are you talking about these, or are you talking about the ones that are all connected? Because I know you can also get the connected ones on Amazon. They're called like paint cups or paint. And those are like the little bitty ones, like the ones I have my shaved pastel in. Any ideas on how to make handles like that without a laser cutter? Just really, really steady hand cutting them. I mean, some people do have the ability to do amazing work with an X-Acto knife. You just have to be like really, really patient for sure. That's way uglier. It's so fun. I love how the standard of what looks the best is which one is uglier. Oh, okay. So my paint stuck. Y'all can't see. My paint stuck, and I almost pulled the entire handle in half trying to get it off of here. Okay. So now we'll paint this other half white now that it's dried. We should, I guess I should probably be painting the hinges at the same time. I'll get the hinges out while this was drying. So basically, it would look like that. So I don't know if y'all like the white or if it stands out enough. It may not stand out enough. But like I said, I'll go back and age it. So when you age something, not only does it give it a little bit of realism, because most things do have some kind of scuff marks, or they have a little bit of variance in the paint colors. So not only makes things look a little bit real, but it also brings out details. So if I lightly dusted this with just a little bit of brown, the brown pastel dust is going to get into the little crevices around the handles, and then it just kind of makes those details pop a little bit. Okay, so now I've lost the brown one. Oh, there it is. I feel like miniature flower makers. I don't know if any of you guys are a miniature flower maker, but they have like all these like incredibly tiny detailed pieces. And one of my friends who makes miniature flowers, she said she just one day sneezed and lost hours of work, and she couldn't find it because it all went into the carpet and it was just gone because everything was so tiny. Oh, maybe paint before you remove them. Now that's a smart idea. I didn't think about doing that. You have to let me know if I say it right. Hello, Baritarang. Baritarang? It's always a challenge to make sure I try and say names correctly. All right, so we'll do that on these. I will paint them while they're still in the sheet. And that's a good option, and one of those things that's a good idea, because in the kit I can say, I advise that you paint the hinges before you remove them from the sheet, and that'll keep people from being extra frustrated. So I'll paint one set brown. Look at that. No tweezers needed. Oh, y'all can't see anything. Just paint one set brown. And then I'll paint the other set white. Thank you, Danielle. Good idea. Uh-oh. What did I say that was awful for my friend? I've forgotten what I said. Oh, that she lost hours of work. Gotcha. I'm like, oh no, what did I say? Yeah. So, and I've dropped miniatures before, like tiny, like I dropped a coffee cup once, and it was the one I made for the miniature prompt, and so it was like I had put several hours worth of work into it, but I found it. But when it comes to like pieces like this, like if I lost this handle, like if it went on the ground, very unlikely I'm going to find it. Especially, luckily I don't have carpet in here, but if I had dropped it in a carpeted area, for sure, they would be gone. Might as well just vacuum them up and start over. All right, so I'm just gonna paint these guys. All right. Awesome. That was much easier. Okay, so did we decide brown or white? We'll vote brown or white for, I'll hold the brown up to the lid so y'all can see that, because I did that for the white. Oh my goodness. Oh, if I can get a hold of it. Come on, little guy. There we go. So here's the brown. I think it might stand out a little bit more than the white. Y'all have to let me know your opinion. And then it'll match the mushrooms. And it kind of looks like aged metal just a little bit. Kind of like, you know how they had those metal pieces that once the paint wore off, it was like, you know, it changed colors. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of brown. One for white. I'm thinking brown too a little bit, just because it stands out a little bit more. I like the white, but I'm not sure if you would notice it as much. All right. So, oh, there's the brown. I keep losing it. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to send like some aromatherapy or something with my half scale kits, so people who get frustrated and annoyed with the half scale tininess, they can calm down. Something like that. A bag of chamomile tea in each kit, so you can just, you know, take a breather moment while working with these tiny little handles. My goodness. Okay, so what I do with these, so I've got paint all over my fingers, but what I do with these is I bend them. And no, sweetie, I'm almost done. Into like a U shape. So fragile. And now I dropped it. Seriously, I dropped it. It's gone forever. Did anyone see which way it went? Oh my goodness. Chamomile tea, here we come. Am I just not seeing it? That's old glue. I lost the handle, guys. I can't. Excuse me. Oh, there it is. I found it. Woohoo. All right. Thank you, Stormy. You're okay. There we go. Shh. It's okay. You're okay. All right. So I'm just going to add like the tiniest dot of glue on here. Try to line it up. And then while it dries, try and scrunch it together just a little bit. And this way it pops out. So I put it on there. I don't know if it's perfectly centered, but we're gonna have to live with it. Yeah, so I put it on there and then I scrunched the pieces together so that the handle popped up just slightly. Like so. Alright, so, someone said colored cardstock. That would be a good idea too. Although I want to make sure everyone can do their own color in the kit, so that'd be great for personal purposes. Alright, so let me get the brown hinges out. Stick this in water. And we're almost done with our live stream, and we will have completed the kit, which is great. Or the first test run of the kit, and we'll have another piece of furniture for the Fairfield. All right, so these two are the hinges. So I'm just going to bend it into an L shape. And then bend this one as well. Like so. And then I can use, okay, I'm sorry, I just keep knocking everything over. Sorry if there's been a few jump scares. Let's see. All right. So before I put the hinges on, I want to make sure that I may have to sand this once again, because once you put paint on, it kind of bulks up the piece. Where'd my sandpaper go? All right, so remove some of that paint, some of that yellow paint, so that it slides in a little bit easier. And like I said, when I do the kit, I'll just have to make sure that this piece is a little bit thinner. I guess something about scaling it down 50% didn't quite work on this part of the kit. But that's what test runs are for. All right, so I gotta get the little piece on here. Here's how this looks. And I'm gonna, you probably won't be able to see because I've got to sit it down like this. And the top prevents you from seeing, but I'll show you an example of what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to put glue on the piece and then put it down in here so that it glues to both the back piece and the top of the seat. So I'm going to do that, but I want to do it while it's sitting flat on the surface here. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the hinges. Can you hear her crying? She is just begging for attention. I'll let you say goodbye in a second, okay? Okay. All right, so get this hinge on there. I said I want it to sit on the mat, but then I picked it up anyway. Oh. I may have to make a little bit thicker of the piece that had the letter I, so that it has a thicker thicker place to sit. All right, so got that guy on, so now I just need to do the other one. I bought a mini vacuum, so when I drop things I can find them. I've heard about using a vacuum with like hose or something on it. It's okay. Calm down. And then it can still suck things up, but then it won't go through because like the hose will stop it from, like pantyhose. I realize there's different types of hoses. So let me get this guy on, like so. Ta-da! So I'll let that dry completely before I try and mess with the lid, but there's definitely some things I need to go in and fix and change before it becomes a kit that's for sale. Because I want to make sure I iron out all the issues. But here it is next to its original. And then I'll find something to go in these holes to create the pegs. But I think it'll be really cute to make like little mushrooms popping up on the sides. Some little butterflies. Stormy. Sorry about that. She is just really making herself known all throughout this stream. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. So you can get the attention you want and stop barking. All right. So that's it for today, guys. I'll probably, I'll have to look up some references before I do the mushroom painting on the sides. And, but then I'll try to remember. Sometimes I say I'll post things to Instagram and then I forget. I'll try to remember. But thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for letting me avoid that guy back there. And I'll probably just try and not feel guilty about not working on it for a while and just enjoy the process of making some of the things that you suggested. I'll go back and write down like lava lamps and Papazon chairs and all the things you suggested. And then we can start making some of those things in the live stream until I feel like I'm ready to go back to the house. So I'm just ready to not feel guilty every single month when I don't want to work on it. Thank you guys. Yeah, it does make the full scale or the 12 scale look so big. It looks humongous for some reason. And you think, wait, is that really 12 scale? But it is. It's just... It's such a difference. You think, oh, it's only half its size, but honestly, it looks like it's a quarter of its size. You know, because it only takes up like a quarter of the room of this one. But once you take the width in half and the height in half, I mean, it really is. It's so tiny. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and for asking questions and for talking with me today. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. And our next live stream will be the second Friday of March, which already 2020 is flying by for sure. And you guys have a great Valentine's Day too. Say bye. You've been talking this entire time. Sorry, I see you just got here. We're ending the stream, sorry. But it will be up for rewatching on my channel. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, stop licking the microphone.